Alrighty, my friends, today we're going to focus on opening up our hips. If the lighting keeps changing, I'm sorry, it's because the clouds are going by. But we're gonna do some stretches for your hips. Like I just said, I would recommend that you are warm before you start this. I have a warm up that I posted earlier this week or last week. I will link it down below and up above. Make sure your muscles are warm. I think that's it. I think we can just get into this one. Let's go ahead and start with a little sumo pose. So you are going to bring your feet pretty wide apart into like a second position, and we're just gonna drop it down to a sumo. Starting with your hands on your knees, okay? So we're not dropping all the way down yet. We're just up here. And while you're in this position, I want you to be careful that you're not sending your chest and your booty back like this. Chest forward and booty back? No. We want it to be kind of all in line here. So do you see that difference from here to here? All right, make sure that's where you're sitting. Ooh, that's where you'll get the best stretch, and that's where you will improve your turnout a little bit too. From here, I want you to press one knee outward. This will do a little bit of stretching to our inner thighs as well. It's kind of hard for me to say that we're gonna do a bunch of stretches just for your hips, because inevitably you are gonna end up stretching other parts of your body, just like I'm doing right now. Press the other knee away. Okay, now we're gonna drop it down to our elbows. So same thing here, making sure that your chest is not too far forward. Okay, go ahead and press one knee out. And other side. Okay. Go ahead and straighten those legs and just kind of hang over for a second. Release those muscles. Okay, now I want you to turn to one side and we're gonna go into a lunge. So first, just starting with a basic lunge. My front leg is making a 90-degree angle. So my knee is not going past my toes. My back leg is nice and straight. And if you don't feel anything in your hips yet, try squeezing your glute muscles. See if you can kind of feel it in one of the hips. From here, I want you to drop that knee down in the back. Stay in this position. Bring your hands up to your knee. And same thing here, I want you to think about squeezing your booty muscles and holding your core tight. And then you can slowly push forward a little bit with your hips to see if you'll get a deeper stretch from there. Make sure you're breathing, and you guys probably just heard that deep, shaky breath of mine. I definitely wasn't breathing until now. Breathing is so important while you stretch. Now I want you to lift up one arm, whichever leg you have back, pick up that arm, and then take a gentle stretch over that front leg. Okay, we're gonna go all the way down, so I'm turning out my front leg, dropping down to my elbows. From here, let's go ahead and reach back and pick up that back foot. All right, drop that down. Let's go back up to our lunge here. One last time. And then turn to the front. Whew, my hips are feeling it. I call this like a spider stretch. I saw someone comment on a TikTok of mine and say they call this a Spider-Man stretch, which I thought was funny. I feel like that makes more sense than mine, just the spider. Okay, switch over to your other spider. So here, this is similar to what I was talking about with your sumo stretch. You want to make sure that don't do exactly what I'm doing here where I'm leaning too far forward. You ideally want to have this extended leg facing straight up. So your knee is up toward the ceiling, or it's a little bit turned out and it's in front of you. And then this bent leg is not going past your toes. So that means that your upper body needs to be a little bit more up. Okay, let's twist into a lunge. That was not very graceful on my part, but runner's lunge, here we are. All right, then drop that knee. Hands go up to our front knee. Squeeze your booty. My mom is texting me right now telling me dinner is ready, so I can look forward to that after my stretch. All right, pick up that arm of the same extended leg and reach over. Okay, drop it all the way down. Okay, let's reach back, grab that foot. Okay, drop it back. Back up to our lunge, and we're gonna do our Spider-Man one more time. So twist. And switch. Okay, go ahead and take a seat down carefully, not like I did. We're gonna do a pigeon pose. Bring one leg in, bend it in. Other leg is straight. And I like to try and think of both hips sinking into the floor. My pigeon pose isn't great because ideally this hip would be closer down, but it's not there yet. Still feels good though, so that's what matters, right? Okay, let's switch legs now. Pigeon it out again. Front leg is bent, and basically, I mean, there are differing opinions. That was a weird word. Opinions on how to do your pigeon pose. Some people will say you should try and keep this front leg parallel to the front of your mat. Some people say that doesn't matter. I don't really know. I try to keep it pretty parallel, but it doesn't really end up happening for me. So I just try and concentrate, like I said, on getting my back leg straight, my hips down toward the floor. Okay, why don't we do a little bitty bit of a butterfly. This is a good one for our hips. Honestly, don't know that it does that much. It can feel good sometimes. My leggings just won't stay up today. So I'm just gonna press one knee open. Switch, press the other knee open. Okay, next up we're gonna lay down onto our backs, and this one, you can do also bringing your leg straight up to the front, but I want to focus on bringing it out to the side here. So, because I find this is more of a hamstring stretch, whereas this will do more of a hip stretch. So, straighten the bottom leg, keeping the hip on the floor, so not letting it roll up or open. Nice straight legs, both legs nice and straight. I'm gonna bring my leg out to the side, and the goal here is not to try and get it further towards the floor necessarily. I think it's better to think about bringing it up toward your ear. So I'm just gonna hold here for a few seconds, a few breaths. I personally think the hardest part is keeping the other hip on the floor. Take a deep breath in, see if you can pull it a little bit closer toward your ear. And bring it back down. Let's do the other side. Hopefully I have room here, do I? Yes, I do. Okay. So bringing it out to the side. So you want to make sure you're not letting the weight collapse you over. You're gonna have to maybe hold on to the bottom of your leg. And you might even want to place one of your hands on the opposite hip to remind yourself to keep it down. Then I'm just gonna pull that leg up and in toward my ear. Okay, one more breath here. Deep breath in. And breathe out. Let it down. Okay, now, you guys are probably gonna hate me, but I do wanna try and do our middle splits now because that definitely is a hip focused stretch. So slowly make your way up and however you need to get to do your middle splits. Let's do it. just so you guys know, this is our last stretch. So just make it through this and hopefully your hips feel stretched. I know I mentioned this in the beginning that you do need more strength in addition to your flexibility if you want to have nice extensions and leaps and things. But another thing I want to point out is if your hips feel constantly sore, and that's why you clicked on this, was that you wanted some stretches for those really achy hips, you might actually need to strengthen some of your muscles, including your hip flexors. So they might be sore and painful actually because they're not strong enough to hold up to everything you're putting them through. So you can do some hip flexor exercises. You also might need to strengthen the supporting muscles around your legs, so things like your glutes, maybe even your core. There are a lot of things it could be, so just know that stretching is not always the answer, and if you are always sore there, then you might need to look into some strength. But hopefully that was a good distraction, and now you can roll out of those splits and congratulate yourself for finishing this hip opener stretch routine. I really hope y'all enjoyed it, and if you did, of course, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and join in on the fun. This week I'm posting all about flexibility. Next week is technique week. Week after that is choreo and conditioning. So if that sounds like fun, make sure that you subscribe and join my little YouTube family. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok for more tips, short videos, behind the scenes, that fun stuff. Here are a couple videos that you might like, and I hope to have you back for my next video. Bye!